Hey everyone, today we're here to give a review on the Autopsy of Jane Doe. It recently came out on DVD and Blu-ray and I went ahead and picked it up. Watched it. Initial impressions were it was creepy and amazing.
Yeah, I really liked it.
So this movie is about a body that turns up at a crime scene. The police take the body to a local mortuary, which was a family-owned business. Basically wanted to find out the cause of death because it seemed eerily and strangely placed at this crime scene.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was supposed to be there.
So basically that's the premise of the movie. The father and son that work at the mortuary are there to explain why these people died and what happened. Acting in the movie was really well done. Everyone was believable. I believe the relationships that were built in the movie. Initially we had a girlfriend character, we had father and son, which there's a lot of good chemistry between the two actors.
I was liking the back and forth between them.
Yeah, and it was an enjoyable watch. And of course, there was a little kitty that was adorable in the movie. All the actors were awesome. And the lady who played the corpse in the movie, oh my goodness, like, she did an amazing job. I mean, she had to be there on a table probably for a while, along with probably a dummy or cast or whatever.
What was the cat's name?
It was also Stanley. Yeah, we watched this movie right after we saw it. It Comes at Night, and we thought it was funny because, oh, another Stanley. And the dog's name in It Comes at Night was Stanley. Anyway, So yeah, the actors were really good. The lady who plays the Jane Doe's body did an amazing job. She was creepy, and she had to be, dead for most of the movie, and she did an awesome job. The setting of the movie was at this mortuary. Basically, the entire time it's at the mortuary. The only time it's not at the mortuary is when it's at the crime scene.
Yeah.
And basically, it's following the body of Jane Doe in the movie. Because later on, it's, following the body. Okay, the special effects in this movie were awesome. Great makeup job, great digital effects as well. Go ahead and tell them some things that you liked about it.
It looked pretty realistic. Half the time I'm thinking, wow, is that a real body? And I don't know if they went the whole route that one movie did where they actually got cadavers.
Oh, what was that movie called?
Was it called Cadaver?
No, it was, there's a plane.
We live near an airport.
What was that movie called?
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was one of those 8 films to die for.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was really interesting seeing how realistic the autopsy was. Really don't want to go too much into it because
we probably should save the rest of that.
Well, there really isn't much to say about it other than it looked really good.
Very
It was
realistic.
top notch, in my opinion, and yeah, I thought they were cutting open a body at times.
Okay, spoiler section. If you haven't seen the movie, go purchase it now because it's actually worth owning, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this movie is worth owning. I've already seen it twice, and I'm planning on seeing it a third time. And I've seen it pretty much right after the last viewing. And anyway, so spoiler section. Leave now if you haven't seen it. Go watch it, and then come back and have a discussion with us. So, spoiler section. This movie was so scary. It was very creepy.
It had a really nice creep factor to it. Yeah.
I had a lot of goosebumps during certain scenes in the movie, and usually movies don't get to me that much, so it was kind of interesting.
I don't think I got any goosebumps, but I did feel like a little creeped out at times. It felt like a classic in a sense to where, there's this part where they have a bell around the dude's leg, and it just, I don't know, that just reminded me of things I would see in older movies.
Yeah, the small little scares and then continuing it throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, and you knew that was going to come into play later, and it did. And there's a scene when that same cadaver is walking around with the bell, and you can hear it, kind of like...
walking towards them.
Yeah, and it was in a hallway, and there was flashing lights, and it would just flicker ever so lightly on the cadaver's face, and it didn't have a face, and it was like, oh wow, that's pretty... It's pretty gnarly. It takes a lot for me to get freaked out, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it was really nice the way they did that, and that felt like a sort of classic sort of horror move, and I loved it. Also, the whole cutting open of the body, it was interesting to see the whole process of it. It seemed very methodical. It seemed very well thought out for the filming of this movie seemed realistic. And it just was interesting to go see throughout that whole process and see how the father was teaching his son and, you know, just to go through that. And I was so, I got so like, I don't know, creeped out when he cut his arm on the rib
bone?
of the bone. Or was it the rib bone?
I think he was taking out the rib cage and he cut his hand on the bone.
Oh my gosh, that creeped me out.
Yeah, right away, you know something bad's going to happen because they made it a point to point it out.
And then wasn't it right then, the son was out in the other room, like, finding the cat? I believe so. I need to watch it again. So
rest in peace, all Stanleys.
I know, seriously. All the Stanleys in the movie, their pets seem to, like, just die.
This one was pretty sad, too.
The cat was so cute. In the beginning, he got him like a little rat and was like, oh, kitty. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That was sad, and I felt really bad for both the characters because he obviously had a fondness for the cat, and we learned that was the wife and mother's cat before she died, and obviously the husband and son were still going through that grieving process. I believe they said it's been 2 years is what the girlfriend said, and she seemed like, oh, he should be over it. It's 2 years, and I wanted to punch her in the throat when she said that. I wanted to, like, seriously, I got ragey, but he didn't see that. He didn't see that. It was all internal. Yeah, people just don't get over things like that. So it's been 2 years. Yeah, okay. Anyway, then they cut open the body and they start seeing interesting things like
I wouldn't say clues, but I guess they're clues.
So there's something in her mouth.
Yeah, a thread.
A thread, and then we notice her tongue's gone, and we start feeling like, oh, maybe she's part of this whole drug ring, right? That's what he says. Maybe she was in prostitution. Yeah,
they start writing everything down on this huge whiteboard, just trying to map everything out to keep it all organized, and it's pretty interesting how they go about.
I thought it was really interesting. It was like putting together a mystery from like the last piece, the body. So they find little things here and there, and then they find like, what's next? I don't. There's something in the stomach, like a bag. I don't remember
all the different little clues, but they find...
they find this awesome bag, and it's all tied up, and then there's, like, teeth in the bag, right? And
her teeth, right?
Yeah, her teeth. And then there's... the cloth has something written on it, and later on we find out what it means. It's like a Bible
ties into the thread
verse
that they pulled out of her throat, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really cool. And it seems like her character was from the Salem witch trials back in the day.
Yeah.
So, and it was just interesting the way they tied that in, because initially I didn't know what we were going into watching. I didn't know, like...
zombie flick? Or
is it an alien that's inside of her? Is it what? Is it... I know it was something supernatural probably, but what exactly was it? Was it a ghost flick? What was it? Turns out that it's about, you know, witch and revenge, right?
So technically, is it a zombie? No, because, I mean, there's cadavers walking around. I mean...
But that's her manipulating them. She's jumping from body to body.
Was that... Oh, is that what that was going on there?
Yeah, I believe so, because when the old man looks at the bodies that are coming at him, he goes, oh, he has her eyes, which are it's windy all of a sudden, but he has like the gray, he has like her gray, like cloudy eyes, which was an amazing part of the film and good choice on the look of it, because it's just like nothing's there. It's very eerie.
I liked how later on when she started, how do you say it, exacting her revenge, it looked like she almost got a little bit of a smirk on her face. Nothing over the top, just a little bit of like a grin. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I thought there was something there. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Another plane.
Damn airport. Why you gotta fly for?
I wonder if it's one of those like fire extinguishing planes. Like
no, it's bigger. That sounds like a little tiny jet.
Okay.
A little tiny plane.
Anyway, we were saying. Also, when they finally, when they were trying to destroy her and everything, obviously that didn't work out. It was interesting how she was like protected. It was interesting how when they tried to set her on fire, everything else like started to go, like the evidence,
all the evidence, all the
tape,
clues,
the pictures. A lot of them went, not every single one. So yeah, when other people came in, they it was just another mystery. What's going on here? Eventually they open her up even more and find these really interesting like scripts on her skin, on the inside of her skin, which I kind of felt when they cut her open, they broke the seal of whatever. But then again, obviously something happened at the original crime scene. So I don't know. Did they break the seal, or was it just a curse that came with the body? Then when they figured out what the cloth was, that was interesting too. When she enacts revenge on the two characters that are there, it's kind of sad because I feel like the characters, or at least the father, understands what this person went through and he empathizes with her. So for me, it's kind of sad that she takes revenge on him. Overall, we love the movie. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Keep an eye out for the giveaway video on the channel that's going to be coming out really soon. Make sure to enter that and check out the other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys later.